last in the chat because this is our last class that we will be having our completely free class for
Here we go.
2020 with 2025, y'all. So with that being said, because this is our last class, right? I want to make sure that you understand that you need to give us your complete undivided attention. So what I want everybody to do, give us 90 minutes of your time. And if you could do that, type commit in the chat. Like once you commit to it, type commit in the chat. We want your complete undivided attention. I don't want you scrolling on social media. I don't want you texting. I don't want you picking up the phone. If you got to go into another room with some space to yourself, if you got to go and pull over, whatever you need to do, the information that we're going to share is going to be critical for your success in 2026. So I need y'all to see if y'all can put that commit in the chat. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Felicia says she commit. That's what I'm talking about. Johnny commit. Sharon commit. Rod, let's go commit. All right, we got the right people in the room. We got the right people in
There
the
we
room.
go. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. First and foremost, I need everybody to go ahead and just drop a fire emoji, drop the commit, like my brother said tonight. This thing is going to put you in position. I need everybody to just understand this, like the word position. Like when you're in a position, you can go start making new moves, bigger moves, better moves, but you have to get into position first. When you go ahead and playing football and the quarterback is like, "Yo, I need you to get in position so I can throw you this football." So Ramel, so Joyce, or myself can throw you that $1 million play. You got to get in position. So that's what this is all about tonight. So I'm excited to share the stage with my family right now. We're going to be giving you guys the exact game, like he said, on life insurance, on real estate, on asset protection, every single thing you need. And I'm glad that we're doing this right now. It is November 9th because now you have this month and next month to set everything up. So now you walking into the new year already with the policy. You walking into the new year possibly already with a house. You walking into the new year with all this stuff protected. You walking into the new year with everything situated so you don't have to start January 1st, January 2nd trying to scramble. Okay, what's the first thing I do? Oh, wait. Oh, Joy, hold on, let me call. Wait, I gotta put this together. We trying to tell you 2 months in advance.
Yep.
I'm getting paid on the first. I want to make sure that you guys get the same thing. All right. So I don't know, Joy, you want to kick things off?
Let's go. Let's get
Yeah,
to
ready.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How are we doing tonight? I am going to break down how we're going to protect our assets, how we're going to properly structure our business, what kind of estate planning things we need to have in place. And then Boone's going to break down residential real estate. And then Mogo's going to come in with a 1-2 punch and break down how we're going to buy cash flowing businesses using life insurance. So let me share my screen. Drop a 1 in the comments if y'all can see my screen before I just start running my mouth. So I can make sure that we are good to go. Bet, okay? So hi, my name is Joy. I'm your business bestie. I have been a business attorney and a serial entrepreneur since 2005. And these are some of the brick and mortar businesses that I have started and grown to 6 and 7 figures. I first started off with my own law practice, the Hunt Law Group. Then I ventured off into the beauty industry, starting a hair extension company called Creme de la Creme Hair. And then I started the salon franchise, Super Weave Express, Houston's home of the $50 sew-in. And I grew that franchise to 10 locations between Texas and Louisiana. Then I ventured off into the auto industry, starting car dealerships, rental car companies, insurance agency, collision shop. Okay, so I know everything about business. So we're going to first start off with our business structure. We need to have some kind of entity, an LLC or a corporation. It's going to give you asset protection. It's going to make you credible. It's going to reserve your name in the state that you are in, and your business can now walk into the bank and get a line of credit, can get a loan, can apply for business grants. You want to make sure that you have an EIN number for your business that's free with the IRS. You want to make sure that we have a business address. When the banks Google your LLC or your corporate address, a home shouldn't pop up. An apartment complex shouldn't pop up. A P.O. box shouldn't pop up, right? So if we don't actually have a brick and mortar, you can go rent a commercial address by getting what's called a virtual address. We also want to make sure that we have a business bank account and that we are not commingling personal and business expenses. Next, we want to make sure that we have an active LLC. So, yes, you formed your LLC, but if you haven't filed your annual report, your state may make your LLC inactive. Now it's like you don't have an LLC. And then last but not least, you want to make sure that you have an operating agreement. That is the contract for your LLC. So that's going to be your business structure basics. Now, for those of you guys who have multiple businesses, give me a 2 in the comments if you have more than one business. You are a serial entrepreneur. You maybe have 2 or 3 different businesses. Okay, we have a lot of awesome. Come on, y'all. Yes. So we want to make sure that we're not running all of our businesses out of one LLC. So we don't want to have one LLC and then get to have a whole bunch of DBAs and run all of your businesses out of one LLC. Because if I have Joy's Barbecue, and Joy's Barbecue is my main source of income. But then I say, I'm going to do Joy's Lashes, but I'm not going to form my LLC. I'm going to get a DBA and just run it through Joy's Barbecue LLC. And then once I start making money, then I'll get an LLC. If I put too much glue on someone's eye and her contact gets stuck on her eye, and she becomes blind and she sues me, not only can she get the income, the revenue, and the assets of Joy's Lashes, she can also get the revenue and assets of Joy's Barbecue because I combine the businesses. So when you combine businesses, you also combine liability, and we don't want that. So every single business needs to be its own LLC with all of the business structure basics. So own LLC, own EIN, own business address, its own operating agreement, its own business bank account. Now, when it comes to protecting your assets, there is no one thing that we can do. So there's a couple of different things we want to do. Number one is if we can look like we don't own anything, that can deter someone from suing you. So what's going to happen is someone's trying to sue you, they're going to go to an attorney. The attorney is going to look you up. They're going to Google. They're going to look on your social media. They're going to go on the Secretary of State's website. Do you own any businesses? They're going to go look at deeds, look at the DMV records. So, one way of masking or hiding your ownership is to not have your name on any business. So, there is something called an anonymous LLC. There's 4 states that have it: Delaware, Wyoming, New Mexico, Nevada. Regular LLC paperwork is going to have the LLC's name and address on there. However, in anonymous LLC, the owner's name is nowhere on the paperwork. So, by not having your name on your business entity can help mask the ownership. So when someone is looking to see, oh, should I sue this person, and you don't really own anything, they're gonna be like, oh, this person is not even worth the hassle. Okay. So one tool in our toolbox that we can use is going to be anonymous LLCs. Another tool that we can use can be holding companies. Okay. So just like we do not want to run multiple businesses out of one LLC, we do not want to own assets and operate the business in that same LLC, because if this business gets sued and it loses, it's going to lose the assets. Okay. So by having what's called a holding company, a separate entity that all it does is own the assets, we will separate the assets of the business from the operations of the business. So if the LLC gets sued, yes, you'll lose the cash flow, but you won't lose your assets. So how this works is you'll have a holding company and you'll have an operating LLC. There will be a lease agreement between these two. Every single month, your operating LLC will pay a lease fee to your holding company to be able to use the assets that it owns. The assets could be vehicles, real estate. Ramel, your camera is on this wife beater. vehicles, real estate, trademarks, copyright. Another way of structuring our business will be parent companies. Okay. That's having one LLC own all your other businesses. So for everyone who typed a two, some people want to have one business entity own all of their other businesses. So holding companies own assets, parent companies own businesses. If you want a simple structure, you would just have multiple LLCs. I call this the bubbles. Or you can have one LLC, the parent company, own all of your other businesses. Well, who wants to do all of that? Well, number one, if someone doesn't want their ownership or their name on their LLC paperwork in their state, makes you put the owner's name. So if I was going to be filing an LLC in Florida, but I didn't want my name to be on the paperwork, I could form a parent company in Wyoming, Delaware, New Mexico, Nevada, and then have my parent company own my Florida LLC. So if someone gets to snooping on the Secretary of State's website, my name doesn't pop up. Some of you guys may be in a high risk industry. You may be in car dealerships, credit repair, funding, real estate, construction, tax preparation. High risk industries don't get the maximum amount of funding. You could have your profits of your high risk industry be pushed up to the parent company via a management fee and get funding from your low risk parent company. You may own multiple businesses, but you only want to get paid out of one. You don't want to have to run payroll and have payroll expenses out of all these other entities. So you can move the profits up to your parent company and just take payroll from one entity. Or maybe you're trying to get funding and the requirement is you got to have $10,000 of revenue. Maybe one business by itself doesn't have $10,000, but all three of them together too do have 10,000. We can move the profits up via a management fee and get funding from the parent company. So those will be the reasons why somebody will want a parent subsidiary format. Now you want to make sure if we have this formation that we have all the corporate formalities are followed at the baby level. So active LLC, no commingling, personal business expenses, having all the licenses, permits that your industry requires. So if you put all of this together, you would own your trust will own your parent company, and your parent company will own your other LLCs. And the holding company is always off to the side, not tied to anything, because this is the entity that owns all of the assets. Now, trusts are another structure that we can use. A trust is just going to be a piece of paper. It's a legal agreement, but the benefit is it's private, okay? I can't Google and see, well, what is in Shonda's trust, okay? It's a private agreement, but it can own assets. Now, there's two types of trust. There's a revocable living trust. That's the most popular one. You could put an asset in the trust. You can also say, just kidding, and take the asset out. You can change your mind. Because you still have control over the asset, a revocable living trust does not give you any asset protection while you are alive. Now, upon your death, it does give you protection because your assets immediately go to your heirs. Unlike a will that has to be probated, you have probate fees that may take 6 months to a year. In a revocable living trust, your heirs immediately get the assets. However, it doesn't give you any asset protection. Now, the bulletproof trust is going to be called the irrevocable living trust. This trust, once you put something in, it is good as gold and protected. However, you can't touch the asset. You can't say, just kidding, I need to use this asset as collateral to go get a loan. You no longer have access to touch the asset. So a lot of business owners don't like that, so they will use a holding company to be able to, own the assets. And what they'll do is they'll have a revocable living trust, the one that doesn't give them asset protection, but it does give them privacy. And then they'll have a clause in their trust saying, upon my death, make my revocable living trust an irrevocable living trust so that you do get the asset protection upon your death. Now, some estate planning basics that we need besides having a trust is going to be number one, a pour over will. A pour over will is basically saying any asset that I own, if I don't already have it in my trust, it automatically will go to my trust. So let's just say I have Joy's trust and I go buy a car tomorrow, but I didn't get a chance to go to my attorney's office to transfer the ownership from me to my trust and I die. The pour over will immediately will bring that asset into my trust so that now it's protected. You want to also have a medical and financial power of attorney. Someone that's going to be in control over your finances. If something were to happen to you, you were sick, in the hospital, unconscious, and then someone that would be making medical decisions regarding your care and your body. You may not want the same person over one. So you may want your mom or your spouse to have control over what happens to you in the hospital, but they may have a casino problem, right? So you don't want them over the money. You can have someone else over your finances. Third, you want to always make sure that you have what's called a bank account beneficiary. Upon your death, no one's going to have access to your bank account. It's going to either have to go through probate if you have a will or don't have a will, or if it's listed as if you don't have anything listed as a beneficiary, then you'll have to just wait until probate. Here's the problem: if no one can access your funds and we have assets that need your money to make payments, that's how assets are lost. So by having a bank account beneficiary, upon your death, someone will be able to access your funds and pay whatever needs to be paid so that you don't lose your assets after your death. And then, last but not least, you want to have a life insurance policy. There are multiple types, but you want to have the kind that's going to give you what's called living benefits. So if you were to get sick, especially as an entrepreneur, maybe you're in the hospital for 3 to 6 months, you can have a policy that will still be able to pay what you were customarily used to making to help you pay your bills as you are sick. So I kind of went over business structure, how we're going to protect our assets. Now we need to acquire the assets. So I'm going to bring Boone up here and he's going to break down how do we actually get into real estate the correct way? How do we actually start to acquire assets so that now we can have something to protect and either put in our trust? So are you here, Boone? Okay, Boone is not here. So while we're waiting, I'll break down the irrevocable living trust a little bit more. Here's the positive thing about an irrevocable living trust. Whatever asset you put in there is going to always remain your heirs or your beneficiaries' separate property. So anyone who has a lot of assets, we have a lot of real estate, we have a lot of vehicles. Okay, Boone, you are here. I'll let you take it over, Boone.
All right, sorry, but it wasn't clicking over for 1 second. All right, y'all. Let me know. Put a one in the chat. I mean, actually, put a thank you in the chat if you guys enjoyed what Joy was talking about. Every single thing that she mentioned, every single thing that she talked about this evening is things that is absolutely necessary. Because I've personally seen people build wealth, buy properties, get assets, start businesses. And I'm talking about the smallest thing from a car accident, smallest thing of something that not necessarily you did, but maybe your child did, made you lose every single thing you had. And put not happening to me in the chat. That's not true. If you know for a fact that's not happening to you because you're going to go ahead and do the things that she's talking about, she's going to do the things that she stated for you guys, that's not going to happen to you. Exactly. No, not me, because it will be the worst thing possible for you to build up all this stuff to listen to every single thing we talk about, but not do that one piece. But also on top of that, you don't want to go ahead and put all together all this trust and all this asset protection without having an asset to protect. So what I want to share with you guys is how you can actually acquire that asset so you can have something to put inside of that trust and you can go ahead actually have something to protect. So everybody put asset in the chat and we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Perfect. Brittany said, I'm late in. You're not late. You're right on time. Don't even worry about it. You're not late. You're right on time. All right, so look, y'all, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Before we get into the details of how to buy the property, how to find a property, how to put everything together in reference to that, I want to introduce myself. So my name is Derek Boone. I'm a real estate investor in Philadelphia. We own $7 to $8 million worth of real estate. We have done 8 figures in real estate transactions over the last few years. And to be honest with you, a lot of you guys hear all the things that we're talking about, all the things that we're doing, and a lot of y'all think like, dang, I can't do that because they already just started out that way. Let's just have a transparent moment. Put me in the chat if you're someone that just feel like, yo, they're already at this big level. There's no way I can get there. Shannon, you from Philly too. I love it. Just put me. Let's be honest. Let's be transparent here. And I want to show you guys something, right? Because a lot of people feel like they're like, there's no way I can even get close to that because they're already on this high level. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, right? I want to share this with you guys. This is me back in 2016. So a lot of people see me now, they see all the properties, they see all this, they see all that, but they don't see that this. I didn't say 2010. I didn't say 2005. I said 2016. This is just about to hit 10 years ago. Not even that long. So if I'm someone that can change my entire life in less than 10 years, you guys can 100% do it. And this is me. I was working in a retirement home. So my job was to serve the elderly. I used to go ahead and feed them, prune juice, salmon, all the things that they love. And that was literally my job from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then I would go ahead and do the double shift to make some extra money from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. That was the dishwashing shift. As you can see, that's my work uniform. But I had this 1 hour throughout that day that was the most important hour that day. I'm gonna say this again. I had this 1 hour throughout that day that was the most important hour that day, and that was my lunch break, and that was me on my lunch break. But the difference between me and everybody else, you can see some people in the background. I actually used my 60 minutes to get out of my 8 hour shift. I'm gonna say this again. I used my 60 minutes, my 1 hour lunch break to get out of my 8 hour shift. I was reading real estate. I was listening to real estate. I was absorbing real estate. Anything that I can read or listen to that had something to do with real estate, I was listening to it because I knew that this was the thing that was gonna get me out. I don't have a college degree. I don't have a corporate background. The only job I worked at before this was McDonald's, and before that was a camp counselor. I don't have a long, extensive professional background or a college degree, so I knew I had to do something that I can go ahead and get started without needing a whole bunch of credentials. And for the reason why I love real estate so much, but more importantly, the reason why I love teaching real estate so much is because anybody can get started. Put I can in the chat if you know that you can. I'm talking about you don't need a college degree, you don't need a corporate background, you don't need any of those things. But yes, you can make 6 figures or 7 figures in real estate. I personally done it. With all the stuff that I just told you guys, I have still able to personally do it. So when I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to you guys from a passion of I've been in the same shoes that a lot of you guys are in. Some of you guys are already doctors, lawyers, engineers, and you want to start making extra money as love. But for some of you guys are just getting the ball started and you're at a spot where you feel like you're just a little bit fed up and you're trying to figure out how you can get yourself off this wall. I'm telling you, it's 1000% possible because I did it myself. And put ready in the chat if you guys are ready for that. So before we get knee deep into the real estate, I want to explain something to you guys, right? That I'm most passionate about. And this is that case study that I want to kind of build off of tonight is we're talking about investing. We're talking about real estate. We're talking about assets. We're talking about wealth. And the thing that I'm about to share with you guys, I love so much because I was able to hit all those things with one stone. I was able to do all these things with one more. So we talking about generation, we talking about legacy, we talking about wealth. That's things that we're involving our kids or our future kids. And what I did was I bought my son a property and now he's about to make money off of literally in the next 2, 3 weeks, he's gonna be making money off of every single month. That's going to be going into, his future. Put Put child in the chat. That's something that you guys want to do. And I'm going to share this with you guys right here. So literally a month ago, probably 35 days ago at this point, 39 days ago at this point, this is me and my son on closing day. We closed on his first property. This is about a week later as we getting everything going. This is on day 2 when we was actually looking at getting the demo, about to get the demo started. And the reason why I'm so happy and so proud of that is because this is something that he's going to be able to get paid off of every single month for the rest of his life. And then when he gets to the point where he want to pass it down to his kids, he's going to have that. So we build a legacy and generational wealth. But the most important thing is not just generational wealth. It's just not about buying assets, but also giving the information. That's why you see my son. He's a part of this project and see what's going on. But what the biggest thing about all of this is, everybody put biggest in the chat. The biggest thing about it, all of this, is that I only needed $8,275 to do this. This is the actual HUD. HUD is aka a receipt, a real estate receipt. This is the actual HUD, aka real estate receipt, which shows that I only need $8,275.16 to go and do this. So for you guys that's in here, it's like, yo, I love the asset thing. I love you buying a private. I love all that. That stuff makes sense, but I don't have 100,000. I don't have 200,000. Put me in the chat if you're someone that thought that you needed all this money to go ahead and get started. I can muster up $8,000. Exactly. So this is living proof right here that you do not need all of that money that you think you need to go and get started. I want to ask you guys some. Put 8K in the chat if you have access to 8,000, whether it's savings account, checking account, money market, IRA, 401k, credit cards, under your mattress, in your shoebox, credit cards. You have access to $8,000, some form of fashion. 8K, 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 8K. So a lot of you guys can get started right now. And then for those that say, I don't have it right now, we are going to be talking about on this call how you can get access to that kind of money so you can still invest. So every single person on here, make sure you are locked in, because whether you have it or you don't have it, you can still get started. But I want to make sure you got that in here and say, I can get started. I don't care if you have it or you don't. Have it clear in your head. I want you to type that I can get started. All right, perfect. So now what I'm going to show you guys is, right, how am I able to only need $8,000? Well, I utilize a specific formula when I'm doing my real estate transactions that make it to where banks, lenders, financial institutions want to actually just give me money. Like, I don't have to beg for finances at this point. I don't have to beg for money. I have to beg for credit. I literally put together deals utilizing this one formula, this secret formula that allows lenders and banks that want to partner with me. They want to not just lend me money, they want to partner with me on these deals because it just makes super sense. How many people been in a situation where it's like a no-brainer? It just makes sense. Put makes sense in the chat. So for you guys to see, just so you can see the proof, this is the actual bank right here where they're saying from a value standpoint, you guys can see this loan looks like it makes sense and is eligible 100% funding. And you guys see this is September 16th. This is not that long ago. This is right before we purchased the property. We purchased the property on September 30th. And it's actually going to be done in about 2 weeks, if not a week and a half at this point. So just so you can see the actual proof, this is the real live email directly from the bank saying we're going to do 100% finance. And there's no somebody here that's like 100% finance, but he needed $8,000. That doesn't make sense. The $8,000 is to cover the fees, the taxes, and insurance. When you go to dollar store, you buy something for $1, you're gonna have to pay 6 or 7 cents on top of that to cover your taxes and fees. The same thing with a house. The $8,000 to cover our taxes and insurance and fees, which I can actually use a credit card to cover that, but that's a whole nother conversation. So what I want to show you guys really quickly is the formula we utilize and put ready in the chat if you guys are ready, which is called the 65% rule. And with the 65% rule is a specific formula that we utilize that we never lose money on the deal. I'm gonna say this again. We never lose money on the deal. If I follow this specific thing, I'm not losing no money. And because it makes it so, and I don't say impossible, damn near impossible for to lose money on this, the banks are like, we'll fund this. We'll give you 90%, we'll give you 100%. We'll do whatever we need to do to fund and back this deal because it just makes super sense, right? So what this is this exact form is ARV times 65% equal all in. Now I know out the gate people are like, yo, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but that's why you on here tonight. Be open to learning because I'm open to sharing. So everybody put follow on the chat. You guys are following me. So the first thing we need to evaluate is what does this stand for? So this stands for after repair value. So what that means is after the house is repaired, that's the value of it. After it's fixed up, after they got the new floors, new kitchen, new bathroom, new lights, new paint, after everything is brand new, this is what it's worth. So for you guys, like, well, how do I figure that out? If you go to this website right here, realtor.com, and there's going to be a search box right at the top. When you go ahead and type that, when you type it in that search box right at the top, you put your own property address. And when you scroll to the bottom of that page, scrolling to the bottom, is going to be a list of houses that recently sold. Look for the ones that are absolutely brand new, everything is nice, and now you see what that house sold for. So if your house is a 3-bed, 2-bath, and that house is a 3-bed, 2-bath, but everything is brand new, that one sold for $500,000. There's a high chance that your house can be worth what? Come on, I only got a couple minutes. Move with me. If that house sold for $500,000, how much could your house possibly be worth? Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Cynthia. It's going to be your house could possibly be worth $500,000. So now that we got this, what this means, we multiply by 65%. All in just means you buy and you fix. How much you buying it for? How much you can fix it for? So put follow in chat if you guys are following that. We won't break this down anymore, but just put follow in chat if you guys are following that. All right, perfect. So now what we do is for my son's specific house, the ARV what is worth is $160,000. So we take 160, we times it by 65%, and that equals what? Real quick. I got 8 minutes, real fast. What does that mean? Thank you, $104,000. So $104,000 is my all-in number. That means I can buy it for, let's say, 100, and I can fix it for $4,000. Or I can buy it for $50,000 and I can fix it up with $54,000. And put in the chat what's some of the breakdowns that you want to do. You can buy for $20,000, put $84,000 worth of work into it. Buy for, I don't know, 100, put $4,000 worth of work into it. I don't care how you break it down. I don't care how you chop it up. I don't care what you do. As long as you do not go over that math, this is a no-brainer. And the banks are like, we are willing to fund this. We're willing to back this. We're willing to do what we need to do to make this happen. All right. So now let's go to the next step. Is with I specifically, I bought this for $36,000, and then I put 64K into this. So that means I'm all in $100,000. Yes or no? Is $100,000 less than 104? Yes or no? Is $100,000 less than 104? Yes, exactly. So that means it is an amazing deal, and the banks are literally turning green, and they're like, no brainer. We are going willing to give you the money and fund it, as I just showed you guys in the email. They're like, yo, this makes sense. We are willing to do this. So what happens is, right? What happens is I'm all in 100 grand. I fix it up. Everything is nice. Everything is beautiful. But the thing is, with these banks, they're 12-month to 18-month loans. I like to call these little banks. These are the little banks that we're using. They're 12-month to 18-month loan, meaning that they're only going to give us 12 to 18 months to buy this, fix it up, and do everything we need to do. Well, in this specific house, it took me about 60 days. So I don't even need 12 to 18 months, but I have it available. But the thing is, I want to keep this property for the long haul for generations, because I'm creating generational wealth. So I'm going to need a loan that's longer than that's correct. Yes or no? Is that correct? I want to make sure y'all follow me. Yes or no? Am I going to need a loan that's going to be a little bit longer than this? So what we do is we go ahead and call the credit unions. I like the credit unions myself. We call the credit unions, aka big banks, that offer 30-year loans, 30-year mortgage. That's typically what everybody's familiar with, 30-year loans, 30-year mortgages. So how the big banks works is they're going to take ARV and they're going to times it by, sorry. They're going to take ARV, they're going to times it by 75%, and then that number is what they're going to give you. So we already made it clear that this house is going to be worth $160,000. We already did that on the last slide. We realized that the house is worth $160,000. So now we take 160 times by 75%. Somebody real quick, what's that math? Somebody tell me what's that math. Thank you, Joshua. It's $120,000. So now this bank is going to give me 120K. But out of that 120K, how much I got to pay back? What I got to pay back? Quick. What I got to pay back? Thank you, Elizabeth. So I got to pay back $100,000. So that means how much I have left over? If they're going to send me 120 and then I got to pay back the 100 that I borrowed, exactly. That means I have $20,000 left over. But what's going to happen is, and I want to make sure I say this for the technical people here, you're going to have to pay some type of fees. So for this transaction, I'm going to have to pay about $3,000 in fees. This is how the banks make money. They charge fees. It's the cost of doing business. Everybody has to make money. Don't get into things where I'm going to get stuff for free. You have to pay to go ahead and get to that next level. So the bank is about to give me 120,000, but I gotta pay them $3,000 to do the transaction. I'm fine with that because now I'm about to show you guys. I'm about to get $17,000 wired directly to me, tax free. And the reason why it's tax free is because you do not pay money, you do not pay taxes on lended money. This is money, borrowed money. So I do not have to pay taxes on this money. So what I'm specifically going to do is I'm going to take this money and I'm going to put it in my son's life insurance policy. So now I'm taking the $17,000 I'm putting directly into my son's life insurance policy. That's going to grow to a whole nother level. So I turn $8,000 into a $160,000 property. I turn to $17,000 cash, which I'm going to put into the policy, which is going to take it to a whole nother level that I'm going to let Ramel explain. I know my levels. I know my limits. He's going to take this and turn it to a whole nother stratosphere. But here, everybody put is more. I know, right? I should have did. I should have did. So now we want to do a little bit more, right? So when we get a mortgage on our house, what do we have to pay every single month? When we get a loan on our house, what do we have to pay every single month? Monthly payment, monthly payment. So I already did the math for you guys on this specific house. You can go to Zillow Mortgage Calculator. On Zillow Mortgage Calculator, it's telling me that my monthly payment is going to be about $803. So now what we do is we take, let's just round and say $800, which is principal, taxes, interest, and insurance. Principal, interest, tax, and insurance. So $800 a month is going to be my monthly payment. But now rents in this neighborhood are going for around $17.50 a month. And you can find this out for free on this website, which is called rentometer.com. Rentometer.com. So now let me ask you guys a quick question, right? If if I'm getting 1750 coming in rent, ooh, that's coming in, and then 800 is coming out, how much money I have left over? Thank you. Elizabeth on point. Elizabeth about to own 50 houses, or if she don't do it, or if she don't already. So now I got $950 that's coming in at the end, at the beginning of every single month. That's gonna come in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, the whole entire 2026. That's gonna be coming in every single month that I can put into a high yield savings account. I can put into the money market. I can put into more life insurance. I can do whatever I want to do with this. But the fact of the matter is, I want you guys to have options. Everybody put options in the chat. It's the fact that, man, I have the options to do what I want to do. And for some of you guys in here, I want to make this clear. Some of you guys are not in the space right now where you want to build a whole bunch of wealth long term because you got things you need to handle right now. Put me in the chat. Let's have a transparent moment. There's some of you guys in here that's like, listen, I'm not in a space right now where I want to build wealth. 30, I'm not thinking 30 years right now. Government is doing a lot of shit. A lot of stuff is happening. I need to make sure I got money. I got things I can put together right now. Me, this is your way right here. You can utilize this 950 a month to go ahead and take care of some things, whether it's a car note, whether it's car insurance, whether it's some of the rent or all of the rent. I don't care what it is. This can go ahead and help out with some things until you get to the position. Now I can start putting this into my son's account. Now I can start putting this into my daughter's account. Now I can start putting this stuff into whatever vehicle that you want to put it in. But now you have the option to go and do it. My biggest thing is I want to make sure I have options. I want to be able to wake up and be like, do I feel like doing this? Do I feel like doing this? Do I feel like doing this? And the only way you want to have options if you have income. And the best kind of income to me is passive income. You mix a little active income with a little bit of passive income. And then let's take this to the next level. And I got 30 seconds, I got to pass this off. Right. We already said we got 17K that came in this year. And then we got 950 that comes in this month. This is all from one house. Imagine if we times this by 3. Imagine if you did this one time a year. Imagine you did this twice a year. Imagine you did this 3 times a year. You just went ahead and took $8,000 and turned it into 17,000 plus 950 a month plus $106,000 property. What if you did this 3 times? Just put in the chat. Would your life be 1,000% different? Not just 100% different. Would your life be 1,000% different? I rest my case. I want to pass this over to my brother Ramel. He's going to show you how to take this little bit of change that we just got and take this to a whole nother stratosphere. He's going to show you how to take 6 figures and turn it into multi-million. I don't even know how he does this. He's good at this stuff. I'm going to let him explain this. But now you understand how to get the assets. You know, understand how to protect it. But now let's talk about how we multiply it.
Listen, I need everybody to drop the fire in the chat for Boone. If y'all feel like he gave y'all value, drop the fire emoji in the chat. Yeah. They ready. So what I want to do is give y'all a little bit more. If I could give y'all a little bit more, just type more in the chat. That's all I want to do. I know Joy gave you a lot, Boone gave you a lot, and I'm gonna give you a little bit more. But one of the things that I want us to just keep in mind as I give y'all this game, I want you to know that it's not about you, it's about your last name. When you hear Boone talking about him being able to buy properties for his son and knowing that he's set because his last name is going to always get paid through investing once, right? That's what I want y'all to understand. How do we have our investments work for us multiple times? How do we have our money work harder for us than we work for it, y'all? So that's what I want to do. I want to teach you this concept and I want to jump right into it. And if I could show y'all, somebody type show me in the chat because I don't want to just talk about it. A lot of times people online, they on YouTube, they on Instagram, they on TikTok, and they talking about all these things, but I want to show you in real time, which that's the difference between what we do and what everybody else do. So what I want to do really quick is share. This is actually one of my policies, y'all. So I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. Like I could literally refresh the screen and all of this stuff you see is in here. I couldn't make it up if I wanted to. But this is one of my life insurance policies, all right? Now, what I want y'all to do is look at this number right here that's highlighted. For those of you that can see and you got good eyes, what is that number? Put it in the chat. What is that number? Put it in the chat. All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. That's 1.5 million. Thank you, Joshua. So for the people that can't see, that's 1.5 million. Now, that is what is called a death benefit, right? Which means when I'm no longer here, my family trust is going to get $1.5 million. So now my wife and my sons, they don't have to be struggling to figure out how they're going to cover my funeral costs and how they're going to pay off debts. Somebody type me in the chat if you want to be in position to pass down wealth to your family, or if your parents would have left you millions of dollars. The truth is this, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Where I come from, when somebody passed away, we had fish fries, we have GoFundMe's. I remember when my parents and my uncles, they didn't even have the money to bury my grandmother. If you could relate, somebody type relate in the chat. If you can relate, somebody type relate in the chat. So why not protect ourselves? We have insurance on our phone. We have insurance on our car. We have insurance on our house, but we don't have insurance on our life. Make that make sense. And this is the fastest way for you to actually pass down wealth is through insurance. But this is called IUL. This is an index universal policy, which means you also get what is called cash value. So the people that could see this, I highlighted it. What is that number? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Monica said, finding the right insurance policy, the child. I got you. That's why you're here today. Put that number in the chat. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Joshua. $319,000. That is cash value. So not only am I being able to position myself when I'm no longer here, my family's going to get wealth, but I can utilize the insurance today while I'm living. See, life insurance is life insurance for a reason. It's not just for when you die. You can utilize it when you're living as long as you know how to utilize it. So what I do, I take this $319,000 and then I go to a bank and I apply for what is called a life equity line of credit, y'all. So this is it right here. It's a revolving line of credit against your cash value. So I'm not borrowing from the policy. I'm not pulling the money out. All I'm doing is taking my policy and I'm showing a bank. And this bank is M&M Bank. I'm going to say, hey, M&M Bank, I have $319,000 in my cash value. Can you give me a line of credit against that for $319,000? So now you double your money. If y'all follow me, type follow in the chat. I just want to make sure y'all with me. I am literally just showing the banks that I have this money because we all know at the end of the day, we're not going to make it out of here live. And the banks understand that. And they're not pulling your credit. They're not looking at your credit score. All they're doing is looking to see, do you have this money in your policy? And then you're going to actually assign over collateral, which means if you don't pay them back, then they can come for your policy. But we want to make sure that we pay it back. Are y'all following me? There they go. So all my life insurance agents that's in this chat, you know what I'm talking about. So I made my money work for me twice. I done turned 319,000. It's growing compounded interest in this policy, but now I go and get a line of credit against it. All right. So it's called a life equity line of credit. So now that I have that life equity line of credit, I'm going to use that to go and invest. See, what we do is we take this money and we go buy already profitable businesses that's making money. Somebody drop their state in the chat. I want to show y'all. You can go on websites like Biz Buy Sell and you can find motivated business owners that are looking to sell their businesses that's making money. Or even if it's not making money, they can give it to you for a discount and you can add some value. But why reinvent the wheel? So you can go on these websites and you can search for small businesses that's for sale. All right, look, they got this toy vending machine for $30,000 and it's bringing in $54,000 a year. It already has the routes in place, already has the customers in place, already have all of the things that you need, all the systems in place. You're just going to go buy it, right? So this is what we do. Now, I want to give you a live example. So this is actually one of the businesses that I just purchased maybe about 4 months ago, Smith Station Storage. You could go and look this up on your own time. This is a real life thing. This is the HUD statement. That's why I say it's different what we doing here. We're not just talking about it, we really live it. So as you see right here, Smith Station Storage, and I'm gonna zoom in on this, right? This self-storage business, the purchase price was $450,000, as you can see. Contract sales price $450,000. And in this entire transaction, I didn't use any banks. I didn't have to pull my, I didn't have to pull my credit at all. Why? Because I understand creative financing. So what I did was work out with the seller, and he held a mortgage. It's called seller financing. So if you look at line 206, it says owner finance mortgage. That's $250,000. So the seller act as the bank, and I pay the seller monthly payments of interest, right? And now I'm able to buy this property and start to get the cash flow. So what I had to do was give the seller $200,000, which was my down payment. So as you see right here, it says cash to seller, $196,000, and that was after he paid some like fees and things like that. But what I came to the table with was $20,000. Now, if you picking up what I'm putting down, how did I get the $200,000? Where did that money come from? Let me know in the chat. Where did I get the money to buy this self-storage business? My life insurance line of credit. So y'all picking it up. I go and I put the money in insurance. I get a line of credit against it. Then I take the line of credit to go buy a business that's going to make me money day one. And now the cash flow from the business pays off the line of credit plus profits. So I'm making my money work for me multiple times. If y'all follow me, type follow in the chat. If y'all follow me, type follow in the chat. This is the wealth game. Wealthy people don't spend money. We move money. We put it in the right vehicles. And we repeat this cycle as a system. System stands for saving yourself significant time, energy, and money. We buy insurance, we leverage it to get credit, and then we go and buy businesses, and we do that repeatedly. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's go in full detail, because I know some of us here, we have 401ks, we have IRAs, and this is when the conversation get real tough, because I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If you currently have a 401k, put a 1 in the chat. If you currently have a 401k, put a 1. Jabbar said his mind is blown. Trust me, we just getting started, bro. All right, let me ask you this question. Those of you that have a 401k, are you happy with your 401k? Are you happy with your 401k? Absolutely not. Absolutely. Somebody said yes. Ladatra, okay, I'm gonna show you why you shouldn't be happy with your 401k. All right. What you should do is have your money in different financial accounts that's gonna protect you. For example, insurance. So just different types of insurance. You got term insurance, which is the most affordable and accessible type of insurance. Now it's only for a particular term. So typically 10 to 30 years and expires, right? So you're gonna buy this insurance for as little as $100 a month, you can get $1 million policy. Somebody type me in the chat if you can afford $100 a month to be able to give you $1 million in the event that you are no longer here, that you could pass down wealth to your child. Why would you want to leave the burden of debt to your wife and to your husband? How many of us grew up and we had to deal with the burden of somebody else passing away, and we had to figure out? I remember I had to pay for my dad's funeral costs. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. All because we didn't just invest $100 to get insurance. And this is the fastest way, the easiest way to build wealth, y'all. Not just that, you see that $250,000 note, that mortgage that I have on that business? Well, if I'm no longer here, the term insurance is going to kick in and pay off that $250,000 note. So now my family will get free and clear assets. So I want you to pick this up. The term insurance, if you buy term to match your mortgage, so you may get a 30-year mortgage, I would get term insurance to match the mortgage, so that if anything happens and you pass away during that time, the insurance is going to cover all of your debts, so your family get free and clear assets. This is how we build debt-free wealth. Debt-free wealth. If y'all follow me, type fire in the chat. Drop a fire in the chat if y'all follow me, y'all, because I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started, y'all. Now, we have whole life and we have IULs. Now, these policies are even more powerful, but it costs a little bit more. So it's a little bit more expensive. So instead of $100 a month, it's going to be about $500 a month for that same $1 million policy. However, this policy, you're going to get cash value, which is what I just shared with you. That $319,000 that I have in that policy that I leveraged it, you're going to get cash value. So let me talk to the people that's serious. Put me in the chat if you're willing to invest $500 a month to get a $1 million policy plus get cash value to invest. It's a no-brainer. Let me know. Type me in the chat. And like Boom shared, imagine you go buy a duplex or a triplex and you cash flowing $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month. And now the property that's cash flowing covers your insurance. This is how we make our money work for us. This is how we need to master finance. And not just that, when it comes to whole life and IULs, it's permanent insurance, so it does not expire. You have it for the entire duration of your life. You guarantee growth. So no matter if the economy is up or down, you will never lose. Somebody type never lose in the chat. If you don't take away anything from what we shared today, I want you to understand that if you put your money in insurance, it is guaranteed, secured, and protected. See, you could put your money in the stock market. You could put your money in a Bitcoin. You could go out there and invest in different industries, but you can also lose a lot of money with those industries. So yes, you can make 100%, but you can lose 100%. But with insurance, there's a flaw. Now, you may not make 20, 30%. You may be at maybe 12%, 10%. But if the market goes down, you will not lose. So for me, that's why I like to put my money in insurance so it's protected. And then I'll leverage it to go get into the markets and go buy businesses where I can make 100, 200%. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, Alexis, take that money from under your bed. You should not have that money up under your bed. And this money is tax-free. So that means that you get to get around Uncle Sam where he ain't got to be digging in your pocket, y'all. And this is why I'm telling you the worst place you can have your money is in a 401k because, and let's put this in perspective. I hope y'all ready for this. Type ready for me in the chat if you're ready for what I'm about to share with you because this is going to change everything. If you have your money in a 401k, the truth is this. It is the worst place you should ever have your money. It's a financial jail. It's a trap because you don't have any control over your money. And I'm going to tell you how. You got to wait until you're 59 and a half to be able to touch that money. Who wants to wait until they're 59 and a half or 60 years old to touch their money? So let's put this in perspective. Those of you that have a 401k and you put money in it every single paycheck, $75, $200, and let's say you do that consistently for 20 years, and then you end up growing your 401k to $200,000. And you super excited. You like, yeah, yo, I got 200,000 in my 401k. It sounds all good. Well, as soon as you go try to pull that money out and you are 59 and a half, they're going to charge you taxes because you are taxed on the growth. So let's do the numbers. Get our pens and our pads, right? If you have $200,000 over 20 years, and let's say you had a 25% tax bracket, well, do 25% of 200,000. Do 25% of 200,000, y'all. What's that number? $50,000. Thank you. So that means you might as well just throw $50,000 down the drain. It's gone. Forget about it. That's a wrap. So now you got $150,000. Well, now you need to factor in inflation, the cost of living, because $150,000 is not the same as it was 20 years prior when you started saving and investing in your 401k. So you're really down to $100,000, y'all. And do you know that the average person that retires with a 401k typically walks away with $100,000? After spending 20, 30, 40 years at a dead-end job and they tell you that your 401k was supposed to set you up for retirement, it's an American nightmare, not the American dream. America is the number one marketer and they sold us on this 401k because they get the control, they able to make all the money and give you pennies. So if you really look at the numbers, you're working for free for 10 to 15 years of your life. You're trading 10, 15 years of your life for zero. What part of the game is that? Who's willing to sign up to be able to work and give away 10, 15 years of their life with nothing in return? Well, that's what you're doing when you put your money in your 401k. I'm sorry to break the news to you. Because what they do is they charge you management fees and they hit you with the taxes and they take your money and they go buy businesses. They go invest in stock market. They go and lend it out and they make millions of dollars and give you the crumbs. That's what they do. And let's say because you in the wealthy experience, you got Bogle, you got Boone, you got Joy. Let's say now you say, give me that 401k money. Let me roll it over into an IRA. Well, let me just pull that money out and I'll deal with the penalties. I remember when I was working at Pepsi for 6 years, I had about $40,000 in my 401k. And when I quit, I took the money out. I didn't wait till I was 59 and a half. I paid the penalties. It was like $8,000. I walked away with $32,000. And I was okay with losing because I took the $32,000 and it was a down payment on a 6 unit apartment building that I paid $115,000 for. That same apartment building now is worth $575,000. So if I would have been stuck up on not losing 8,000, I wouldn't have made hundreds of thousands of dollars because I have more control and I can make more money. It best serves me when I'm in control. Are y'all following me? So imagine if you took the money out your 401k and you went and bought a business that brings in $10,000 a month. Let's do some math, family. What's 10,000 times 12? What's 10,000 times 12? Let's just do the math real quick. Let's get to it. Thank you, Alexis. That's $120,000. Times that by 20 years. Let's say you made $120,000 from this business for 20 years. How much is that? This is crazy. How much is that? $2.4 million. So if you want to look at the numbers, because the numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Your 401k is costing you millions of dollars because if you took control of your own money and you invested, you will make millions versus letting them control your money and give you pieces, give you pennies, give you the scraps when they go out there and make all the money off the hard-earned time that you've been putting in. So it's time for us to take back control. Somebody type control in the chat. If you're ready to take back control of your finances, if you're ready to take back control of your life, if you're ready to take back control of you building financial independence for you and your family, we're not allowing America to sell us these dreams anymore. We are now awake. We are now privy to the information. But it's one thing to have the information. In order for you to get the transformation, we have to do the implementation. And if that's you, type me in the chat if you're ready to do the implementation, because that's what separates the serious from the curious. The people that's like, yo, Mogul, I heard it. It makes sense. I'm in. Sign me up. I need to do X, Y, and Z fast. If you feel like this is valuable for you and you want a little bit more, I need you to type more in the chat. If you like, yo, Mogul, boom, Joy, this is so much. But I need a little bit more time. I need you to break it down in a little more detail. I need you to understand what my personal circumstances are because this is not a one size fits all. Everybody's circumstances is different. You may have money in a 401k. You may have an IRA. You may have insurance. You may make 6 figures. You may make 5 figures. Everybody's in different phases in their life. You may be at a job 20 years. You may be at a job 2 years. Well, we need to understand your circumstance so we can give you a better guided plan. And if you want more, for those of you that said you want more, do I have your permission to share an opportunity where you could work directly with me, Boone, and Joy a little more intimately, like a little more closer where we could answer your questions and actually go much further where you get a full day with me, a full day with Joy, a full day with Boone. We really give you every step of the way because this was just really 60 minutes. They said, absolutely. They said, hell yeah, share it right now. They said, share it right now. So look, I'm going to get right into it. I'm not going to waste no more time because I know what we have for you is super powerful and you ready. And the energy has been very good in the chat. So I want to bring up Joy. I want to bring up Boone. And I want them to be able to share this opportunity along with me because we've been working day in and day out over the last maybe 6-7 weeks on this mission to be able to help 1,000 families add an additional $300,000 in assets and net worth by December 31st of this year. Not next year. We're talking about this year. Somebody type this year in the chat. Somebody type this year in the chat. We've been working, we've been diligent, and we have an opportunity that we want to present to you. Starting in the next 45 minutes, we are kicking off our Wealthy Experience Mentorship Week. So it's not going to be just one class like this for now. We're doing a full mentorship week where we're gonna go step by step, break it down, make it simple. Joy can actually go through business structure and estate planning and really give you the nuances so that when you do buy properties, you are protected. Because the worst thing you could do is build this big business and somebody come and see a loophole and take it away from you. Believe it or not, what can go wrong will go wrong. So we have a full mentorship week, and this mentorship week kicks off tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this mentorship week is an investment of only $397, y'all. Somebody type only $397 in the chat. Somebody type only $397 in the chat. And I'm about to drop this link, right? But what I'm gonna do before we actually jump onto the other Zoom call, what I'm gonna do is give you $100 off on tonight. So there's gonna be a code that we're gonna put in the chat. The code is legacy. So don't just move too fast and don't put the code in. Put the code in. You're gonna get $100 off. So it's only gonna be $297 for you to join us on the Wealthy Experience Mentorship Week. And look, if you ready, type ready in the chat. I want to see who's ready. Who ready?
Yeah, they say they're ready, but I don't need to know for a fact. Like you said, if you guys are ready, I'm talking about you want to be a part of this. And the thing about this is not something I want to be a part of this next week. I'm gonna be a part of this next month. No, I want to be a part of this like starting tonight. Like we're starting in 1 hour. But what I want to do is on top of you guys get $100 off. I want to give you guys even more of a bonus if it's cool with you guys, right? A lot of people want to get started in real estate, and also a lot of people need access to funding with credit. Like it was a lot of people that said they had the 8K, but there was a handful of people that didn't. Put me in the chat if you want to get access to funding as well. Just put fund in the chat. So what I want to do is I want to give every single person that gets their spot. What we start in 1 hour is I want to get them access to my 100K in funding ebook, where it gives you the list of banks, where they pull from, what to put on the application, how much they're max out. I want to give you guys access to that. On top of that, I want to give you guys access to my full real estate fundamentals course, which shows you how to find, fund, automate, put together an entire real estate business, and also the same thing for event space. So this is about $2,100 worth of programs right here. You guys want to get this just because you are about to be a part of the class tonight. So we're going to give you access to all of that. On top of you going to get access to this full week, which starts tonight. On top, you guys get the $100 off. Put amazing in the chat. That's amazing. You're literally getting the full blueprint. All you can put on a computer, or you can play at any given time, and then you about to get this live all week where you guys ask questions. And I saw someone put in the chat earlier, and it was like, I want to be able to ask some questions. This platform that we're about to start on in 1 hour is going to be on Zoom, where you can unmute yourself, you can turn your camera on, we can actually see and interact with you. So I know somebody on, because I saw a comment earlier where they're like, I want to be able to ask a question. We're going to be on a whole different platform where you can go ahead and ask your full question and unmute yourself. Put amazing in the chat. That sounds amazing as well. So I'm gonna pass it back to you, Mo. I just want to make sure I put that out there. I want to give them a couple of things, but also I want to make sure they know that you will be able to ask your question.
All right, so look, I think if y'all want us to drop the link, drop the link in the chat. They've been asking like, where do I sign up? Like the last 15 minutes, right? So I just want to make sure we good. They said drop the link. So what we're gonna do? Get your card. If you got to transform your savings to your checking, whatever you need to do, make sure you make it happen because we're about to present this opportunity. All right, so in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the link. Drop the link. Drop the link.
Yes, everything will be recorded.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Once you lock in your spot, type I'm in so we can shout you out. Like I said, literally, we are starting in the next 45 minutes. So there's not just time for you to sit around and wait and try to figure it out. And no, this is the time for you to move with speed. You see that the opportunity in front of you, you know that it makes sense. You know that this was valuable. Join us for our mentorship week. Myself, Joy Hunt, Derek Boone. And just to go through this really, really quick, and I'm gonna pass it back to y'all. But I want to show those of you that's signing in, right? You're gonna go here. You're gonna secure your seat, and once you get to the next page, do not move so fast and you skip this, right? You're gonna put in the code legacy, right? And then you're gonna click apply. Once you click apply, boom, you're gonna have $100 off, and that's gonna be $297. If y'all got that, got it in the chat. I want to make sure we all good, right? You'll say, yo, boom, Mo, look, yo, I paid $397. This is the $100 off. You put the code in. Then you're gonna go down even further, Now, full disclosure, me personally, I'm putting on a credit card. I'm not even thinking about I'm swiping it. What's 297? We spend on Uber Eats, DoorDash. You wake up and breathe, it costs us 297. So to just get this information and get in this environment, I'm in. But for those of us, because of the times that we're going through, I get it. If you need to get a payment plan going, you have the opportunity to utilize Klarna, and you can break up your payments into four with as little as $74.25 to start. You can do Afterpay, and it's four interest-free payments of $74.25. So no matter where you are on your journey, I don't care if you are a seasoned entrepreneur, if you've been working at your corporate job for 20 years, if you are a newbie entrepreneur, or you're somebody that just want to make an additional stream of income and you have other things going on, this is the mentorship week, because you have three of us that have all three different types of experiences that can help guide you, right? You have payment plans, you have multiple ways to make it happen. So I just want to make sure I cover all bases so that nobody say, oh, they talk themselves out of this opportunity, right? They talk themselves out of the opportunity to be able to set themselves up for success in 2026, yeah. So if y'all got that, put got it in the chat. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
No, it's not a monthly. It's a one-time thing. A one-time thing. One-time thing.
Elizabeth is in, congratulations. Val is in, congratulations. Yeah, when you in, type I'm in the chat so we can shout y'all out. I know they get the cards going, but type I'm
And
in.
if you see somebody that put I'm in, I need you to comment on their thing, congratulate them, because they about to be your next business partner, they about to be your next wealth partner, they about to go ahead and go on this journey with you. So if you see somebody that says I'm in, I need you to comment, congratulate them too.
And,
Yes, we help you with that's the full thing about this week. We're gonna be helping you guys put everything together and teach you guys over this whole next 5, 6, 7 days.
and just to add this really quick, it's not just myself, Boone, and Joy. We're bringing in other seven-figure entrepreneurs to eight-figure entrepreneurs. So tomorrow we actually have Dana Christian coming in. She's going to teach us how to go get access to business credit cards, business lines of credit to get funding. So some of us may be thinking, hey, this is great strategies. I would love to get started, but how do I get access to capital? Well, we're going to cover that tomorrow. I don't care if you have good credit, bad credit, we have the strategy for you. Now, this is not going to be something that happens overnight, but it will happen for sure as long as you work the process. Day two, Joy is going to break down advanced business structure. So everything that she taught today, but even more detail. So again, when you are positioning yourself for wealth, you need to make sure you're protected. Boone is going to go more in detail with making money in real estate in different ways, right? He only gave a few right now, but Boone is somebody who's done multiple
Legend.
sides of real estate. Multiple sides, event spaces, wholesaling, realtor, investor, you name it, he's done it, from A to Z, and did it literally utilizing credit cards, private money, and other, strategies that he's going to get into. I'm going to break down how you can buy businesses and create multiple streams of income, do it creatively. We have Stormy Banks, who's the best in the business when it comes to grants. She's gonna help us get that free money. Yo, Joy, I told Boone this one time. I was listening to Stormy speak one day, and she said, like, if it ain't free, I don't want it. I said, God damn, that's it. I got jealous. I said, you're right. Yeah, the interest rates is cool, but nah, if it ain't free, I don't want it. That's that free money. So that's what we're gonna break down. We have Lindsay coming to teach us insurance. We have some people that's gonna, some educators that's gonna teach us how to leverage AI and also how to make money starting an insurance business. So I see some of us in the chat or are licensed insurance agents. Put a one in the chat if you are a licensed insurance agent. I've been seeing us put that in the chat, and this is recorded. It's live, but it's being recorded. It's live, but it's being recorded for those. So wow. Wow, so we do got a good amount of licensed insurance agents, right? And I know that a lot of us are licensed insurance agents, but we struggle with being able to make. Matter of fact, let me know in the chat. What's your pain points? What you've been struggling? What's been holding you back from making money and hitting your revenue goals? Right? I'm pretty sure you don't have the right marketing, so you don't have a lot of leads in front of you. You probably don't even know about a lot of these products because Transamerica and Prime America and all these different companies, they train you the way they want to train you based upon them getting the most commissions, right? So we're gonna have some experts come in and teach you how to actually start a faceless insurance business, leveraging AI, leveraging digital products. We're gonna show you how to really be recession proof, because this is one thing that we know. It's two things that we know. And Joe, you could agree with. I'm pretty sure we got to pay taxes. Now, some people be like, I hear people say we don't pay no taxes, but you're gonna pay taxes somehow, right? May not be the most, but you're gonna pay some type of taxes, and we're gonna die. So when you're getting into business, you want to make sure that you're in an industry that's in demand, and insurance is a demand because we all gonna die. So you just need to know how to leverage AI to grow that industry. You need to know more about the products, and then you need to make sure that at the end of the day, your loved ones are protected. And I'm gonna say this really, really quick. Insurance covers us in multiple ways, not just when we can make money by selling the product, we can be protected and leverage it to invest. But what if you suffer from a life altering event? Like, how many of us know somebody or been in a place where we just couldn't work no more? And now our income is looking shaky because we may have gotten to a car accident. You may have gotten sick. There was something that just happened to where it now has impacted your earning potential. Well, this is why you need insurance because insurance also gives you living benefits where you can get paid as well. So that's just some of the things that we're gonna be breaking down. But that's where I'm at with it. I'll pass it to you, Joy Boone. If y'all got anything that y'all want to add, the floor is y'all's.
Can you
Hey,
show them
Joe, I just
again
want to answer somebody's question. Go ahead, Joe.
can you show them again how to do the payment plan? The classes are going to be at what time? And Ramel, 8 or 9?
The classes is gonna start 8 p.m. for Q&A. We're gonna have 1 hour of Q&A, and then we're gonna have the actual lesson that's gonna start 9 p.m. So you want to be in the room from 8 to 10, lock in that spot. So back to the payment plans. We on the main page, so the page is down in the chat, family. We're gonna click join. Once you put your information in, all right, we're gonna check this stuff, secure your seat, and once
Yes,
you,
Eastern time, Stella.
yep.
So our VIP kickoff call starts in actually 30 minutes from now. So everyone who's getting their ticket now, you're about to get another Zoom link to come to our VIP kickoff. And then on Monday we start these sessions will be recorded. So this free class, you're not going to get the recording. You're going to get the recording from Monday. Once we start the challenge, though, you will get the recording for those. So those who work during the time, you can still get the information by watching the recording. Those of going to be out of town. It's my birthday. It's my anniversary. Whatever it is this week, we got you. It is going to be recorded. Camille, you're probably clicking on the wrong link. So Camille, you want to go ahead and scroll above, or team, can you drop the link again? Because the only options will be $3.97 or $2.97. There is no $89 option. Okay, I know I cut you off. Go ahead, Boone.
No, no, yeah, you
But what I want to answer a couple questions. I seen a couple people ask some of the same things. So first and foremost, if you have a 750 score or if you have a 600 score, it does not matter. You will be able to get service and help this week. I seen somebody ask that. Well, what if I don't have a 750? Can I? You can still be on this because that's why one of these days is specifically on credit and funding. Put God in the chat if you guys got that. Someone also asked, what if I don't have tax returns? Can I still get into it? I have bought multiple houses and never even shown a tax return. You can still go and get started.
that part.
Someone asks, what if I don't own a house already? That is the point of this week. Y'all asking some good questions, but I want you to understand you can come. What they say in church, come how you are, as you are. We want you to come as you are. You don't have a perfect credit score, that's fine. You don't have $1 million in the bank account, that's fine. You don't have an 800 credit score, that's fine. You don't have an asset right now, that's the point of this week. Put God in the chat if you guys got that. Credit is bad. That's the point of this week. See, I'm gonna say this to y'all, right? I want y'all to stop letting things that y'all worry about, stop letting that stop you from getting that stuff fixed. You get what I'm saying? Like everybody here is we on here telling you guys about all the things we want to help you do, but yet you keep telling us about all the things that you don't have. You don't go, we keep telling you, hey, we're going to help you with this. We're going to help you with this. We're going to help you with this. But then you keep saying, hey, but I don't have this, but I don't have. This is the room where we're going to service and help all of those things that you do not have or you think you don't have. And the other thing is, I remember I helped this girl, right? She went and bought a house. She was telling me, hey, I don't think I have this. I said, I think you should just start anyway. A month later, she bought her first property. Because sometimes the things that you think you don't have, you actually overqualified.
Mm.
Correct.
You think you need an 800 whole time you only need 600. You think you need $100,000 whole time you only need 8,000.
Hmm.
You think you need to go ahead and you need to be off work fully full-time entrepreneur when all people doing this on the side when it's a side hustle from their 9 to 5.
Mm.
So all the things that you're worried about that you don't have is not even relevant to what we are actually doing. Put follow in the chat if you guys are following that. Because I literally seen that at least 4 or 5 times where people kept saying the same thing. What if I don't? What if I don't? What if I don't? Well, if you keep saying what if I don't, you're never going to do.
Mm.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, and I want to
Somebody
add.
said, yo, I want to do this, but I don't trust this thing. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you specific. This is just me. I'm gonna just shoot it straight. If you don't trust it, I don't want you in it.
Yeah,
Correct.
That's just me. If you don't trust it, I don't want you in it. We're showing you live receipts. I put the dates on the daggone thing.
yeah,
Joey's showing you buildings with her logo on the front of it. You can't the daggone sign probably 20,000.
it's a fact.
I'm not showing you a policy with his name on it. People keep saying amen. We're showing you receipts. We're showing you testimony. Like, if you don't trust it, I just don't want you in it. Because at the end of the day, you have trust in a job. I'm not saying I don't know what job you work at, but you have trust in the job, but they already posting that they keep laying people off.
Yeah.
So Karen, we're not saying that you don't that you can't have anything. If you're good, we're gonna make you great. So whatever it is that you are trying to grow, whether you want to grow more real estate, you want to learn how to be able to buy cash flowing businesses with life insurance, whether you want to make sure that your assets are protected, come on in.
Mhm.
Come on in. You know what I'm saying? But this is it. We are giving you all three of us plus our bonus business besties. We are trying to give everyone as much knowledge as possible to know which tool do you want to use to grow whatever it is that you currently have or to start growing. Because if you don't know the information, what you don't know can hurt you. What you don't know can keep you stuck. What you don't know can keep you where you are. So if you're not great, we should always be improving and learning new things. I learn new things from these two guys all the time. And I'm able to, sharpen my iron, get better, get better. We should always be getting better and better. So, Karen, if you're losing your hustle, we're going to help you how to get that spark back. Like, we have something for everyone. It's just you just pick which tool it is that you want to use to make yourself better.
Mm.
And stop limiting yourself. Like stop saying why you
Mhm.
can't do something and come learn how you can do something, right? We all come from different backgrounds. Boone don't have no kind of college degree, so you don't got to have a degree to do any of this, right? You just saw Boone working at a retirement home. You do not have to have a lot of money to start some of these things. So it's like just get in. For anyone who if the first response is some kind of no or some kind of a what if it doesn't work for me, what if it does work?
Mm.
So we only want those who want to change. If you sat on this call for an hour and you heard all of this information and you're like, but I'm not sure, you are correct. And it is
Mm.
not for you.
Mhm.
Because getting to that next level, going from good to great, is not for everyone. It's only for the action takers. So get in. If you got to call your homegirl to let you borrow the money, call your homegirl. You got to charge on the credit card. But the most important thing is getting the information so that you can kind of see where am I lacking, what am I good in, and what kind of game plan do I need to come up with to make sure that 2026 I am coming in with momentum and I am prepared to be financially independent from a job or a person. So that means that you're going to be like, boom, on the first, all your bills is paid from passive income. Then you got the passive income. You want to go ahead and buy some businesses, you can buy some business. You want to just structure your stuff, you can, whatever it is, you can have all these different plays to be able to run to make sure that you are good.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You talking about, first of the month, we actually onboarding a new tenant tomorrow.
Come
We're
on.
onboarding a new tenant tomorrow. They're moving into the building with 5 other apartments in it.
Mm.
So you're talking about 1250 just for that unit and 8 times about three first, last security. Like this is stuff that we actually doing. And the biggest thing I want to say is you don't have to go ahead and own 100 units, 200 units, 300, 500 apartments, 700, stores over here, then 300. Like you just need to go and set up one or two or three plays that's going to get the ball rolling for you. Everybody put start in the chat. And this is sometimes we see people on Instagram, we see people on YouTube, we saw these people that's flashing, and then sometimes we do it. I'll admit to that. We put in the things that we have going on. It's not necessarily on purpose. I'm just sharing my everyday life. Joy just sharing her everyday life. Ramel just sharing his everyday life. I seen his YouTube video on Ramel. I don't even know how it popped up on my screen, but it was a YouTube video of him years ago. He driving for dollars. Back, I don't know what kind of car it was. This is some old YouTube video. So you guys see that it looks like we're flashing, this many apartments, this many storage facilities, this many businesses, this many buildings. But we were doing the same thing years ago. The only difference between then and now is we started then and we got to now.
Mm.
So what I want you guys to do is just stop looking at what's all the things that's being flashed in front of your face and look at what's in front of you right now. You have every single thing that you have. The same way Ramel was just driving around looking for, like, I don't know how the video came up on my screen, bro. It just came up related, and you literally was just riding around. Hey, yo, I'm about to check out this property. I'm about to see if we can get this thing under contract, and hits home because this is the same thing I was doing. So I related to that. Joy is showing you guys how she started. She had dealerships, car hair salons. They got these signs, these 15, $20,000 signs. This is years ago. The only difference is that I started, Ramel started. So your next move is just to start. I want y'all to get rid of this thinking. I want you to get rid of the what ifs or maybe I can't do it. Every single person in here can do it. I know you from a long time back. Appreciate it. But I want you just to start. That is the biggest thing. That's all I really have for you guys tonight is really just start. I'm telling you, so much stuff can happen from at the second you just start. When I finally made up my decision when I was at that retirement home and I said, look, listen, I'm not working all these hours and getting paid this little bit of money. I made up the decision. My life has been changed from that day. I went to a class similar to what you guys are on right now. The only difference was it in person. I paid to go to that class. My life changed. Because I just got that one piece of information that opened up the door to this other room, that opened up the door to the next room. And every single room, I just kept picking up a new piece, picking up a new piece, picking up to the new piece. Where I'm at today is not just one move. It's multiple moves that I packed together to get to where I'm at. I heard Floyd Mayweather say this. He said, I didn't become a good boxer by following one person. I took a piece from this person, I took a piece from this boxer, I took a piece from this boxer, and I shook it up in a box, and that created who I am today. You guys this week are going to get a piece from me. You're going to get a piece from Joe. You're going to get a piece from Ramel. You're going to get a piece from Danny. You're going to get a piece from Lindsay. Think about the type of person you want to come out of going into next week if you get pieces from multimillionaires every single day. Let me know in the chat, what type of person, and I want you to be specific with this. Put in the chat, what type of person are you going to step into going into Thanksgiving this year, coming
Mm.
after a week like this?
Mm.
What type of conversations you want to have sitting at the Thanksgiving dinner table this week? Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, what type of conversations you want to have with yourself going into the holiday season after coming out a week like this? Let me see in the chat. Productive, I love it. Is there where the link? Put the team. Can you drop the link in the chat? Focus. Um, Look how much I'm spending on football tickets right now. Okay, tell me about it. Yvonne, I'm in discipline. Preparing for overflow.
Oh, come on.
Mm.
Karen, at this point, you better be locked in,
I,
Karen.
I
Karen,
want to
Karen
ask.
got a lot of different things going on.
I want to ask something, bro.
Positions,
I want to ask something.
but
Few things, and it's just the truth. I seen somebody in the chat put like, if you don't trust this stuff, then why are you here? Right? Like we here for
that's
we
where I
here
was
for a
at with
reason.
it.
Like you signed up on this class, and the truth is, a lot of us we just scared of success. Like a lot of us really scared to be the first millionaire in our family. We scared to be the person that had the responsibility. We scared to break that curse. Like a lot of us, we say we want it, but we really don't want it. And when we really want to make a change, we actually do the things. I know my mentor told me this a long time ago. He said, look, there's no such thing as I can't afford it. There's only a such thing as it's not important enough to me to figure it out. Because when it's things that we truly care about, nobody can convince us otherwise.
Correct.
When we know it's something that we want to get done and don't give a damn who it is, you're gonna figure out how to make it happen. So it's not a matter of I can't afford it. Oh, there's no such thing as procrastination. No, it's just a matter of, is this important enough to me? Do I truly believe in myself? Do I really believe that I deserve it? A lot of us, yo, look, God, can you bless me and bless my business? Well, what business did you start for him to even bless? You asking, you praying God to be able to give you a sign. Well, this is it. Do you know that your next business partner can be somebody in this mentorship week? And what we sharing is not theories, our real life. Guess what? Joy, boom, we all met by investing and getting environments with each other. We didn't know each other 3, 5, 10 years ago. But because we got an environment where it's like, look, I don't gotta convince Joy to go work. I don't gotta convince Boone to go work. It's about how do we sharpen each other? How do we push each other? And we all make money. It's all about environment. Somebody type environment in the chat because your environment will change you way before you could change it.
Right.
If you hanging around people that's not planning for 2026 and they planning for the weekend and they planning just for the holidays and you around the wrong people. Because the real wealth, the people that's actually winning, they planning ahead 6 months out. We're already in the second quarter already when you really understand what you need to do to change your life. So I want to just put that in perspective. And everybody that's here, I'm gonna give a little bit of another bonus, just for me hearing it. I'm just really feeling the vibe tonight. So what I want to do, I want to give everybody that do sign up, I want to give you access to my school community completely free for the next 30 days. I'm gonna give it to you complimentary as a bonus, right? But when you do join, there's gonna be an opportunity for you to apply for a $2,500 credit line, up to $2,500 with no credit check. So it don't matter what your credit is. Now you need to make sure you got no overdrafts and your bank account is clean. But tonight you can get your money back. So you invest in 297, you have the opportunity to get back your money fast. Somebody type fast in the chat. This is $2,500 right here. I can keep rolling and keep showing you. This person right here got $2,395. So you sign up right now, you're gonna get this bonus, and then you go and you follow the exact steps, step by step, no credit check, you're able to get that, right? Not just that, because it's one thing, okay, you hear Joy say it, you hear Boone say it, you hear me say it, you probably think, oh, they some special, they different, right? That's not true. We got people every day doing this. This one of our mentees right here who purchased a dry cleaning business utilizing life insurance. The exact strategy that I just broke down to you. Not utilizing credit. So those say, oh, my credit is bad. We talking about doing this without credit. Matter of fact, the truth is if your credit is bad, you shouldn't even using credit right now. You need to maybe put it on the sidelines, figure out some new strategies because there's multiple ways to get it done, right? We got another mentee right here. She purchased a mailbox store, had her grand open. And again, I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. And she invested in herself and bought this business with only $5,000 out of her pocket, y'all. Making 6 figures a year. Type me in the chat if you believe you can get $5,000 to go buy a mailbox business. And this is just a few of the businesses. I seen somebody ask, oh, look, would I go buy a self-storage facility with this information mogul? Well, I'm gonna ask you this. Are you willing to put the work in and the time that I put in to get a storage facility? Like the information is one thing, but are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to be in the process? Are you willing to say, look, I don't know if it's all the way going to work out, but I need to put myself in position to see if it does. That's the difference between Boone, Joy, and myself. We have a mentor that give us the information and tell us what to do. We got people that give us different gems, but we know that we believe in our work ethic. Just put me in the room, I'm going to work. I'm going to figure it out. I don't need nobody to hold my hand. So we want those type of people in the room. And you know why that's so important? Because when you have 200, 300 like-minded, sharp people, what you think is going to happen to you? What you think is going to happen this week? How many people that's going to win? How many people are going to get funded? How many people are going to get insurance policies? And these are things that we can do immediately. We're not talking about waiting months from now, years from now. You can get an insurance policy immediately. You can get your LLC set up immediately. You can actually start the process of looking for properties immediately, but it's not going to happen immediately if you still sitting, thinking, and waiting. See, wait stands for what am I thinking? Every time you wait, y'all already know. I'm thinking, Do I really believe that I should do this? Am I gonna make time for it? I see somebody talking about recording. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, it ain't no recordings for me. I'm here live. I don't look, I'm taking the time off. I'm telling my boss, my manager, this is my PTO. Because that's how serious I am when it comes to changing my family life, changing my life. I don't need a recording. I need to be there live. Now there will be recordings, but this is just the mindset that we need to have, right? This is the type of characteristics that we need to have if we truly want to put ourselves in position to make 2026 the best year yet, because it starts right now.
That's a fact. That was good. What am I thinking? I like that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Oh,
I love that.
acronym.
Let me ask
Oh,
y'all this question though, real quick. What when y'all first I'm gonna ask Joy and Boom, both of y'all. What's the most amount of money y'all invested in mentorship? Like one time payment.
50,000.
Sheesh. 50,000. Okay.
Clean wire.
Joy, what's the most you invested?
25.
25,000, 50,000. The most I invested was 50,000. So I'm gonna ask you this now, right? What were you thinking? Like when you did invest that 25,000, were you sitting on it? Or was it like, no, this was a no-brainer? Like what was that? What was that feeling? I'm only having us describe this because some people right now, they invest in 297. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not your last, it's your first. You got to keep investing.
Correct.
You're not going to just invest 297 and
Mhm.
everything's going. You're gonna have to invest again and invest again. Is no such thing as your last. It's gonna be your first. But what was that feeling like when you invested that high ticket?
I was scared, but the no-brainer was way more than a scare.
Mm.
Heart palpitations. Like if you're not nervous, heart. If you ain't nervous, if you don't feel like, am I having a heart attack? Like if you don't feel like I'm just not sure. Cause see, that's the when you invest, when you pay attention. So
Mm.
the second I got the courage to send the wire, now I'm like, okay, give me the information, let's go, because I gotta now make my money back. Because now I'm looking at, I gotta get my money back, and that's so I'm paying to make sure that I show up and do the work. If we said that the 5 days was free, y'all be on tonight, and then tomorrow when you got a flat tire, your kid got sick, you're gonna just check out because no one pays attention to things that are free.
Mhm.
So if it's a sacrifice, you're going to show up. You're going to show up all 5 days or watch the recordings because you invested this 297 and this time of 5 days. But the
Mhm.
reason you invest in mentorship is because where you are right now, you don't want to be at this spot next year.
Facts.
So whatever I got to say, here's the gag. You're going to pay now or you're going to pay later.
Mm.
Either I'm going to pay with my money or I'm going to pay with time. I'm going to pay with
Trust.
missed opportunities. I'm going to pay with regret. I'm going to pay with hindering my son's future. You're going to pay either way.
Mhm.
The question is, are you going to pay with your investment or are you going to pay another way? If
Mm.
you pay later, you always pay more.
Mm.
So if I keep doing what I've been doing, I'm going to keep getting the same results. If I don't have the game plan, me waiting and I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying how they were working two different jobs. They were just typical check to check, trying to get a breakthrough. But once they save up enough money, then I said, "Well, how are you gonna save if you work in these two jobs and everything is going towards these bills?" And it's like
Mhm.
when I finally said it out loud, it kind of clicked. Like I'm not about to save. Correct. We got to add some kind of revenue generating thing that you're doing to be able to get money, but some people just are too scared to take that jump.
Mm.
If you don't jump, you're still going to be at a loss because guess what? If you're in that same if you're in the same if your bank account is the exact same next year, are you going to be happy? And the bank account don't have to be negative. You can have money in the bank account. If your life is the same this time next year, you're losing. If
Mm.
you haven't grown, if your money isn't making money babies, if you aren't excelling, you're losing. So the only option is if you want to change, you have to be intentional in doing something new to change. That's why we're all three on here saying, "Hey, I know there's that person. Well, what if it doesn't work? What if it does work?
Mm-hmm.
What if this 297 changes your life?
Mm.
What if this 297 was the seed, was the information, was the partner you met that was going to take your life to that next level?" And I'm sitting here saying it because these two guys right here is what took my life to the next level. I just went to ClickFunnels. I said, I'm about to go to this conference and find someone because I went lost everything from the divorce. Now I'm trying to get it back. I'm making my, but I don't have any systems. I need some kind of direction. And I met two strangers who have literally changed my life. Not my day ones, not my cousin and them, two strangers. Two like-minded people who already knew the way, and they said, hey, if you just change this and add this and this, you'll skyrocket. So for anyone, a lot of times, it's not a whole bunch of change.
Mm.
Sometimes it's just changing one small thing takes that lid off your money. Takes that lid. You're just missing one small thing, and then these 5 days, you leave with one thing that changes everything. You don't need a whole 10, 15 steps. You may just need one step. But the question always comes, are you about to sow the seed? If you sat on this webinar for a whole hour, God sent you here for a reason.
Mm.
If you just came on here, you're here for a reason. You've been asking God for a change. Help this, help that. Okay, He helped you. Now, when you log off and say, hey, God, can you help me? He's going to be like, baby, I sent you the help. But a lot of times we ask God for cake and we want Amazon to deliver the cake with the icing. What God does is He puts the flour, the sugar, the egg in your kitchen. You have to go put the stuff together. He's going to give
Ooh.
you the answer, but it's not going to be packaged how you want it to be packaged. But He's giving you all the ingredients. You're here for a reason.
Mm.
Now, when you log off and then go pray on Sunday, God, can you please? He gonna look at you like I already sent it to you. I
Mm-hmm.
already sent it to you. It's time for you to do the work. I'm gonna help you. You have to do the work. He won't give it to you. He'll put it in your reach. You still have to go grab it and put it together. It's not gonna come fully assembled.
Mm.
So for those of y'all who keep saying, well, what's they Instagram? It's your baby, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Well, it's like if you have all these, if you're second guessing yourself, don't even worry about it. For this reason, if you're serious, pull the trigger. If we gotta convince you for the 297, we gotta convince you for everything because the thing that
That's
separates the
good.
good from the great, when I see an opportunity, I'm pulling the trigger. I gotta just pull the trigger, be an action taker. I'm gonna ask questions in the program. I'm gonna ask questions after I'm in. But are you even in?
Mm.
If we gotta do all of this, it's like, baby, you're holding yourself back. And my
Mm-hmm.
question is gonna be, if you don't do this, then what are you gonna do? Well, I did another program and I tried this and that didn't work. If every time you got one no, you just stopped, you would never find your next boo. If your job fired you today, I can guarantee you tomorrow you're gonna be on Indeed, a monster job. That one job firing you ain't gonna stop you from looking for another job, is it? If your car breaks down today, you're gonna go buy another car. So my last car broke down, but you still need transportation, right? That car didn't work, but you still need a car. That mentorship didn't work, but you still need a mentor. That game plan didn't work, but you still need a game plan. You still need what you still need. So stop letting Satan
Mm.
get in your mind, Because he can't stop the blessing. He can't stop you from getting it, but he can stop you from walking to it. He can't stop God from blessing you. But if God says the blessing is right here and you're here, he can get into your mind to make sure that you just stop and give up. You know what? It ain't gonna work for me. Don't nothing ever work, and I'm not educated, and I didn't know my daddy, and I ain't like everyone else. And here you go, playing the same old excuses. Victim is not for you, as God's trying to give you an opportunity and you didn't counted yourself out. You took yourself out from the blessing. God said, if you come right here, I'm gonna give it to you. But you listening to everyone whose bank accounts you wouldn't exchange. You listen to all the naysayers of why it ain't gonna work for you, and you talk yourself out the blessing. So I'm not in the convincing thing. If you're here for a reason, I'm gonna tell you this. 3 years ago, my mama paid my rent. 3 years ago, I left a $10,000 a month mortgage and had nothing after a toxic husband just took everything.
Mm.
And I had all the excuses as to why it wouldn't work. I wasn't online. I just showed you 10 different brick and mortar business. I don't know nothing about no funnel, no email, no nothing. But when my back was against the wall, I gotta make something shake. I got rent. I got this son. Am I about to just give up and say, oh, well, woe is me? Am I going to say, you know what? I'm not going to be at this point next year. I'm about to work day and night.
Mm.
I'm about to go find someone who's going to tell me what to do. I didn't know Ron Man. I didn't know Boone. But I saw that they had some motion online. Hey, guess what? If they give me the wrong information, let me tell you one thing. At least I try. I know God's going to bless my effort. But it worked. What if this was the one thing that was going to actually work?
Mm.
Had I never pulled the trigger, had I never invested in some strangers that I didn't know from a can of paint, I would not be living my best life right now. So I'm saying all of this. I'm not saying it from Google, what I read online. I'm saying it 3 years ago. My mama paid my rent February of 2022. Guys right here helped me make $5 million in 14 months. I'm telling you what I lived. I'm telling you the truth. If it worked for me, it will work for you. Because God's in the blessing business.
Mm.
You just have to sow the first seed.
Mm.
You just have to show, hey, God, I'm all in.
Mm.
I'm all in. And whatever the devil took from you, whoever's going through a dark season, a storm, a divorce, a bankruptcy, you lost your job, you lost your child, you lost your friend, you lost your car, you lost your business. Whatever he takes, he's going to give you 10 times back. But it's not going to be an even exchange. He don't take on Monday and give you 10 times on Tuesday. It's going to be dark. It's going to be rough. He's going to hold you through. He's going to hold you through, but it's going to be rough because he has to get some people, some things out of your life. He has to remove some things. But when he blesses you, he's going to bless you tenfold. But you have to be committed and you have to be all in, even when things look like they're not changing. Because God is the one that gives the increase. He's going to give the increase. So this week, you're going to get a whole bunch of knowledge on funding, on insurance, on asset protection, on estate planning, on real estate. You choose which tool do you need. Everyone's tool is different. What Karen needs, what Shonda needs, what Marie needs, we all need something different. That's why we're bringing us plus our business besties in so that everyone who's on this Zoom is going to get exactly what it is that they need. So you just pick your one or your two tools that you need to go make 2026 your best year, your best investment. Set things up for your kids so that they don't have to get it from the mud how you did. Set some things up so if you were to get sick, we don't lose everything. Set some things up so if you are the breadwinner for less than a Starbucks coffee a day, your wife, your husband, your kids can still live the same lifestyle. They don't have to mourn you and leave their house and leave their private school and leave their neighborhood and leave their friends. We are, some of us are the generation breaker. We are the legacy. We are the people that are going to change the trajectory of our legacies. It's up to us, so let's just do it. Let's just do it. That's my 10 cent spill.
You on mute, bro. You on mute.
You said a couple of them, but two things that really stood out to me. You said God is not going to give you everything put together, but He's going to give you the ingredients. Somebody said we got $297 worth of groceries. It's time for us to cook. I thought that was
That's
dope,
a
but
good one.
I was watching this video on Instagram, and there was two guys in this hole. It was like a ditch, and they both was crying, praying up to God, and then there was a tree at the top of the hole. Lightning struck, knocked the tree down into two separate branches. One person still was crying like, "Yo, I told you to ask you to help me," and the other guy, he used the branch and climbed up out of the hole.
Mm.
So put that to what you just said. Like God's not going to give you the whole ladder, the whole thing, but He's going to give you the pieces. Like tonight, you guys got the piece, and it's going to lead to the next piece, going to lead to the next piece, and lead to the next piece. And I'm big. I say that all the time because I literally met several different mentors, several different business partners, several different people along my life, and every single one of them gave me a new piece, which I took and elevated to the next level. Like you're not gonna get everything in one big box all wrapped up and say, hey, listen, you're a multimillionaire. One move, one box. Sometimes there's a couple different pieces. You gotta get the box, you gotta get the wrapping, you gotta get the bow. There's a couple different things to put together, but then it opens up. And the other thing I want to say, somebody said, we was talking about like waiting, and the way I look at it is either you're gonna pay with dollars and cents, or you're gonna pay with years and tears. Like you either gonna wait and have to really go through it and just wait and wait and wait, or you're gonna look, let me go and put this money up, let me invest it. I know for me, I was like, I ain't got that much time.
Mm.
Even if I had that much time, in my mind, I'm like, I ain't had this much time. How much does it cost? I remember one of my first people I paid for information. I walked up to him at this network event, and he was talking. You know how you know somebody knows some stuff. They just talking some stuff. It's going over my head. I'm like, yo, he knows some stuff. I said, how much? He said, what you mean? How much? I said, how much so we can like build? I ain't even trying to bullshit around with you. I'm not trying to play. How much? And we put it together from there. He gave me a whole nother game. It took me to a whole nother level. And that's what it just comes down to. Like, listen, certain rooms, like you want premium things, it costs. You're not gonna go to McDonald's and get the same people that's gonna be in Steak 48. It's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna be in at the Motel 6 but want to get the same service and the same things as the Four Seasons. It's just not gonna happen. You want to get that premium service, you want to go ahead and get that next level, you want to meet people that's really on something, you want to have to get in a different room. So, and a couple people already said, yo, we trying to get into this next room. Y'all got to join in. Couple people said that we ready. So look, if you guys didn't get your spot, we're gonna give you literally, we start in a minute. We're gonna give you 1 minute. If team, you could drop the link again. And just put wait in the chat. If you need 1 more minute, need 2 more minutes, just put wait in the chat because we literally kick things off in 60 seconds. I'm already in the next room waiting. Look, Elizabeth, like people waiting. I don't see y'all holding them up, but y'all, how many people are ready to jump on the next room right now? Put next room in the chat.
Can we drop the support
Next
email in case
next
someone
room.
gave the wrong email and they don't get the link?
Yo, listen, they ready to go ahead and get this kickoff started, y'all. So look, it's not even us telling y'all this. It's y'all business partner saying, "Come on, we ready." So look, y'all, this the team is putting the link. Join in. As soon as you guys join in, you're gonna get an email, you're gonna get a text message, you're gonna get everything you need to join into the Zoom that we are starting right now. Can't wait to build with you guys. Can't wait to connect with you guys. Can't wait to help you guys get to the next level. But again, use the link that they're putting in the chat so you guys can get your spot, and we about to go and kick things off in the next 60 seconds. Anything y'all want to add before we close it up?
Duwan, did you see the email? Because Duwan said he put the wrong email address in. Duwan, grab the support email and let them know what your correct email is.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all check y'all spams folder, check your junk folder, check your promotional folder. Sometimes the link goes there, but just screenshot this, grab the support email. If you don't have anything, email them now. We do not want to take your money and you don't get the link because God, I can't afford to miss no blessings. So screenshot the support email. If you have checked all your folders, let them know they're going to give you the link. if you just paid when no money came out, make sure that you paid. There's a support email.
All right, Mo, let's kick off this other thing because we don't want to hold, the people that's ready from getting what they need because people gotta, like you said, wait, gotta think a little bit more. What are you thinking? I thought that was dope.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, so yeah, we already know what time it is. We're about to shift gears and we heading over to the kickoff call, VIP night. Everybody that's locked in, look, take the email, like Joy said, that's the email. We're not trying to run off for nobody money. The 297 is gonna do more for you than for us. We want to make sure you get what you need. So at the very minimum, send an email to support and we out of here.
Yo, let's just close. We'll get off, but team, can you stay on it for like another 5 minutes just for anybody have any questions or they need the link or they need the support email? So we'll jump off, but team, can y'all keep this up just for another 5 minutes?